All right, welcome back to News Now on PNC, and welcome aboard, Joanna O. So what's going on with the weather?
So yesterday, Betsy said, oh, you know, weather terminologists can give you some tongue twister, right? So I searched up Google weather tongue twister and found this. Ready? Set, go. Whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, well, whether the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Get it?
Wow, wow, that was good.
I practiced.
That was really good. I can never do those like rubber baby buggy bumpers. I can't even do it one time fast.
Anyways, back to a serious weather topic. A trade wind disturbance that brought winds and associated rain for this week is now pushed aside with dry air mass. And so today was relatively dry. This less humid weather is expected to last until next week when another weak trade wind disturbance from east arrives. Besides the disturbance, another weather maker to look out for is a developing west wind surge near the equator. But until these disturbance and surge come around, we'll expect dry weather to prevail. Let's go take a look at weather. Expect partly cloudy with isolated showers tonight, but clouds will clear up a little tomorrow while sun is up, as we're expecting mostly sunny with slight chance of showers during the daytime. Starting tomorrow night until the next week Friday, however, expect partly cloudy skies. Winds are blowing towards northeast with speed of 10 to 15, but they will increase up to 20 miles over the weekends, while temperatures fall in between 76 to 87 on Guam and 75 to 86 on Saipan. And lastly, a fire weather watch is in effect on Guam, so until Monday, be careful not to burn yourself.
Well, good advice, Joanna. I almost called you.
Whether the weather, whether the weather.
There, can you do that again? Whether the weather, the weather,
Whether the weather, the weather, the weather.
Oh man, I'm gonna go. I want to practice that.
You should go Google more tongue twisters. All right, thanks, Joanna, for that report. So, University of Guam students put Guam on the map at a national theater competition. PNC's Rizal Ramones has more in this report.
Lights, camera, and action. UOG theater students competed against other students nationwide in playwriting, acting, and stage management. This is the first time Guam has ever participated in the festival, and guess what? Several students even placed in the finals. Guam was in the limelight at the Shakespearean Festival held in Utah. University of Guam theater students and faculty members represented our island and competed against theater students nationwide. Not only did the students showcase their talent, several of them that competed at the event were chosen as finalists.
Just the fact that we did make it to finals is a really big thing because they could pick hundreds of other people and thousands of entries. The fact that we made it all the way to finals, that was a big thing.
UOG student Marilyn Weber's 10-minute play, Pasta, Wine, and Tides, was selected to compete in the National Playwriting Program for one-act plays. The play was chosen as one of the top 5 pieces out of hundreds of entries. The student team of Joycelyn Torres and Joe Datuin also competed against 300 other participants and was selected as one of the 16 finalists in the prestigious Irene Ryan Acting Scholarship Competition. Joyce tells us about her experience.
It was kind of huge being Guam. Nobody knew who we were, and to perform on that grand stage was very huge. It's your professional theater that you kind of see in movies and on Broadway, and then we were given the opportunity to perform.
UOG Assistant Theater Professor Michelle Blas says the level of talent at the competition was incredible and that it was great to give their students the exposure to a large theater competition.
This experience is huge. It taught us that there's talent on Guam, there's value in the art programs, and it's really propelled us forward to really go for it.
We asked the theater students what their advice is for the younger generation that are interested in the arts program.
I think a lot of people think that theater is going to limit you, but I think by going out there and seeing what all of us could potentially do, it showed the possibility. It showed, our potential and what we can aspire to be. It's tangible. It's something you can actually reach and do here. So imagine what can happen if this grew.
Blas said she is working with other professors in the UOG College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences to lay the groundwork for students to attend the festival in the spring of 2016. Rizal Ramones, PNC News.
Police arrested 27-year-old Andrew Manglotnia Ramos from Chalampago for allegedly robbing Jolog's Lounge in Harmon last night. Guam Police Department spokesman Officer A.J. Balahaja says officers from the Tumon-Tuning precinct responded to the reported robbery at around 6 in the evening. When they arrived at the scene, the officers were able to get a description of the suspect and the suspect vehicle. The Criminal Justice Strike Force later located Ramos and the vehicle in the Mayamay Chalampago area, and the stolen property was recovered. Balahaja says Ramos allegedly pulled into the parking lot of Jolug's Lounge upon entering the establishment, locked the main door, and went for the cash register. That's when the suspect pointed an unknown silver object at the victim and demanded money. According to Balahaja, the suspect left with money from the cash register and the victim's purse. Balahaja says thanks to the victim's clear description of the suspect and the suspect vehicle, and police dispatching the information quickly to all of their units, officers were able to apprehend the suspect quickly. Ramos was charged with robbery. He was booked and confined.
The bystander who called 911 leading to the rescue of a man from a burning car earlier this week was presented an award today by Governor Eddie Calvo. Kenneth Cepeda Lupero was given the Laddie Award this morning for calling 911 and aiding police officers who responded to the car crash. Lupera, like the 5 police officers who were given the award on Wednesday, received it with utmost humility. Lupera even told the governor that he didn't need this award. However, Governor Calvo felt otherwise.
Here is a man that was conducting his day-to-day affairs, and he came upon a potentially very tragic situation. And as I hear, he made the call, but that was not all. He was there also to assist in a very, very, very dangerous situation that puts him at risk as well. And with that, I want to acknowledge him and thank him. Because he has been the good Samaritan.
I guess me, I'm just here at the right place at the right time, but you know, the one that deserves this is our men in uniforms right here, you know, because they're putting their lives in the line on a daily basis.
All right, well, great job to Mr. Lupera. And again, the 5 officers who pulled the man from the burning vehicle are Brian Gumatao, Daryl Kidigwa, Alan Guzman, John Camacho, and Keon Pangilinan.
March is Chamorro month, a time to celebrate Guam's culture and heritage. But even the word Chamorro itself causes division amongst Chamorro speakers. The issue, as PNC's Betsy Brown reports, is how the word is spelt.
How do you spell Chamorro? That's been an ongoing debate on Guam, and so local coffee shop Java Junction pulled their customers on the topic today through the use of tip jars.
It's just something that everyone talks about, you know, everyone talks about and everyone's thinking about, but yeah, it's a way for us to interact with our customers a little bit more.
The Chamorro Language Commission officially changed the spelling of Chamorro from Chamorro to Chamoru in 1993. As Chamorro language teacher and regular Java Junction customer, Dr. Michael Bavacqua explains, the change was an example of the Chamorro people taking the name for themselves back by changing it from the Spanish spelling to a spelling that reflects how the word is supposed to be pronounced. But Bavacqua says not everyone was happy.
Those who fell on the side of RRO were really more concerned with tradition, that this is the way it's been spelled for a long time. You know, this is the way it appears in sort of like the church, you know, like the church hymnals and sort of the novena books, like that were published 100 years ago. And so they're like, this is the way we've always spelled it, why should we change it?
For some, the choice isn't that easy. B.J. Bell told us that he believes both spellings are correct.
And I think it's just like, if you're writing in Chamorro, yeah, then spell it in Chamorro. If you're writing in English, spell it the English way. Just like if you were to write about the Spanish language, then you write Spanish. If you're writing about the Spanish language in Spanish, you write Espanol.
And another customer, John Guerrero, gave us a similar answer. But when presented the choice between 2 tip jars,
I've been putting $2, so one on the cha and one on the other one.
Which jar did you choose? Because you had to choose one or the other.
I asked for a change for $1. I put 50 cents into each one. And then I told the guy kind of the same thing. And I even said it's, excuse me, the spelling isn't really that important, really. I think the world would be a better place if we just spelled everything phonetically with an F.
So we made it to a shift change at Java Junction, and we thought we'd check in to see how the tipping's going, which one won. John Ray, how did it go?
So after the final count, we have Chamorro, RU, coming in with 975, and then the Chamorro, the RRO, with 1150.
Okay, and when you go by Java Junction, remember to tip. Betsy Brown, PNC News.
All right, great job, Betsy.
Cool, great job. Thanks for that report, Betsy. Very interesting. I've heard that argument before. I actually have friends on both sides.
So which one would you choose?
Well, actually, I kind of like what BJ and some of the guys said, is that when they're writing in Chamorro, then they would spell it with the Chamorro spelling with the U. Right. But if they're writing in English, then spell it with the RRO.
Oh, right.
I think
that's what I was taught.
I think that's a fair way to do it.
Yeah. All right, well, sports is next after the break.